And Giovanni Sala is, as I said, he's now a PhD student in cognitive psychology in Liverpool. He's moved here recently, and he has. I have tried to convince him to bring something which is really very new. So this research, I understand, is we are not talking about results here. We are talking about something that's really in the making.
Yeah, not only results.
Not only results. And you will introduce the concept of metacognition.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's needed.
Yeah, it's very important for breaking new ground in school chess research, I think. Thank you for being here.
Okay, I'll stay seated if you don't mind. Okay, I'm going to present.
You must make it on screen mode.
Okay, yes.
I don't know. But
F5.
F5. Yeah, here we go. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to present you the concept of metacognition, two experimental studies, and an oncoming experimental study. Okay, let's start. What's the definition of metacognition, first of all? Metacognition has been used to refer to two distinct, yet interrelated concepts. The knowledge about cognition, okay, the awareness of my cognition, and regulation of cognition, my ability to control my cognition. So, one of the most important definitions given by Brown is part of metacognition. Let's focus on the first part. Metacognition, knowledge. We can categorize metacognition knowledge according to a person's awareness of his or her declarative knowledge. It refers to knowing what. Procedural knowledge, it refers to knowing how. And conditional knowledge, it refers to knowing when and why. This categorization has been introduced by Brown. Okay. The second part of metacognition, of the concept of metacognition, is regulation. It is the ability to use metacognition knowledge strategically to achieve cognitive goals, especially in case that someone needs to overcome cognitive obstacles. The metacognitive knowledge. Okay. So, one of our big questions. Why is metacognition so important for a student? Because a student, even in primary school, is requested to develop complex competencies in domains where the mere application of a simple algorithm is not always sufficient. It's the case of mathematics. So, the pupil needs to be aware of his or her knowledge, and she needs to know how to manage his or her knowledge. Do I know how good or bad I am in my task? Do I know it? It's important for a student. Do I know whether this strategy can be used in another context? Transfer the knowledge and strategy acquired in one situation to new situations. Modify and extend this strategy on the way. That's one of the important definitions given by Paneur and Philippot. Metacognition is one of the most important predictors of the student success in school. And metacognition and mathematical abilities are highly correlated. Okay, that's the key points to be underlined. Chess and metacognition. Knowledge and regulation of cognition are needed when we play chess, because we are forced to think strategically. We are forced to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and why we should do it, and so on. So we can't play chess without metacognition, without think strategically. But can chess train metacognition in order to improve pupils' metacognitive ability in other domains? In other words, that's important because we need to know whether chess can train metacognition for in order to improve math ability of pupils, and so on. Okay, the first study. This is by Kazemi and collaborators. Kazemi is an Iranian researcher. Briefly, 180 subjects were randomly assigned to experimental groups. There were assessed on metacognition and on mathematics. The results: chess players outperform the non-chess players both in math and in metacognition. 0 point is a very good effect size. So it's a very reliable as a result. Okay. The main flaw of the study, there was no protest. But the study is good though. Okay.
That means that the chess group and the intervention group, it was not made sure that at the beginning of the start, before they made the intervention, they were maybe already on a different level. But then they got chess in one group and no chess in the other group. And eventually there was a significant difference. One has to point out that these were older children than in most other studies. You say 5th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, so mostly 13, 14-year-old. That's a little different here.
Metacognition items, how we assess metacognition. My performance depends on my will and my effort. When I finish my work, I wonder whether I have learned new important things. I use different ways to learn something according to the subjects. The pupils answer on a Likert scale. So, what's the advantage? We can measure metacognitive ability by using numbers, by using a continuous variable. That's very important for statistical reasons. Okay, the second study, our study by Sala and Trinchero, repertoire of universal cognitive functions, able to operate on every content. That the perspective developed by Feuerstein and his collaborators. Pupils towards chess usually have an intrinsic motivation. So chess is potentially a medium, in the Latin sense of the word, through which some intellectual ability are boosted and transferred. So the two key points are: some cognitive abilities are context independent, that is, they don't depend on the content of application, of the domain of application, and some cognitive abilities are trainable. That's very important because every kind of intervention would be unsuccessful. Okay. It is still a controversial issue, but we need to believe. Okay. We need a little bit of metaphysics. Okay. The method: 78 subjects and to a control group. We performed a pre-test, but we assessed on metacognition and on mathematical abilities the subjects. Unfortunately, the results were not good. Okay, no difference between the two groups. So we could not rule out. We couldn't corroborate nor rule out our hypothesis because we didn't find any difference. But that's not a problem. Possible interpretation of the data. The children of the experimental group improved in neither mathematics nor metacognition. So it's possible that the chess intervention was too limited, and it's very likely, very okay. The mathematical items were too difficult. OECD PISA items are designed for 15 years old. In other studies, we got improvements. In this study, we didn't. Chess does not foster mathematical or metacognitive abilities. metacognitive skills? Yes, possibly. We couldn't exclude it, we couldn't corroborate it. So, the literature suggests that chess does improve mathematical abilities. So it is reasonable to suppose that our study was a faux pas, a forced step, but in the right direction. I mean, we've got to understand the process underlying the improvement in maths of the pupils after a chess course. Moreover, the outcomes of Trinchero, Domenici and Sala seem to uphold the idea that chess training can build habits of mind. Okay, Trinchero just talked about that. We should clarify the link between chess, metacognition and mathematics, so we need better designed study. So, okay. The new and coming study, Castle, was already mentioned, and checkers with Professor Gobet. We've got new methods with three-group design, with an experimental group, with chess, an active control group. It's a leitmotif of Fernando Gobet, of Professor Gobet, and control group, the so-called do-nothing group. We've got more hours, 25 hours in present lesson, or 25 hours divided into 5 hours of present lessons and 10 hours of CAT. We're going to use the TIMS items, more accessible for primary school children, and OECD PISA items too. We're going to use the updated version of the Panaura and Philippou test for metacognition assessment, and a bigger sample, about 600 primary school pupils, but it's not so sure, maybe there are more, I don't know. Ask Alessandro for that. Okay, so finally, the new and coming study, Castle and Checkers, is addressing a problem. Either previous studies clearly suggest what's the underlying process. Maybe the direction of causality is chess affecting metacognition, affecting maths. Because we know that metacognition and maths are highly correlated. If chess is a metacognitive game, it's reasonable to assume that it can increase the awareness of children about their knowledge and regulation of their cognitive skills. Okay. Possibly, chess promotes a forma mentis. I'm finished.
Thank you, Giovanni. I think it's quite courageous to also share something like this when such an exploratory study leads to more questions rather than answers, but it's quite interesting, of course, as well. Please, questions for Giovanni. Malola.
When you say chess, just want to get it clear, whether it's chess learning or chess playing, or how do you compare chess learning versus chess playing?
We use the same protocol of the previous studies. This is the so-called SAM protocol.
Yeah,
okay.
How does it relate to mathematics? There's no mathematics playing as such, mathematics learning. That's why I'm trying to compare.
Yeah. There's no in our chess courses. There's no mathematics. There's just chess.
Like when you say metacognition is correlated with mathematics.
Yeah.
It's correlated with mathematics learning. So like I was just trying to get a comparison for chess.
No. I mean mathematical results. I'm
increase between a pretest and a post-test.
Sorry?
Increase between a pretest and a post-test.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We have one question from Mark. No? That was you?
Our studies, I mean, my Trinchero's, Alessandro's studies, have had just primary school subjects. Okay. So we didn't analyze this kind of comparison. So I think that Anna Nicotera can be the right person to address the question.
Did not include that, but it would be great to have an interaction term, that if your students in the intervention, you could categorize them by low performing or high performing and interact that with the intervention outcome to really differentiate the results. But studies are not doing that. That would be a great addition.
Okay, but about the literature, for example?
No, yeah, and nobody talked about that.
Okay.
I think I have a question here.
I'm just interested to know why you specifically align chess to maths against cognitive improvement of the mind when there are many other areas within the cognitive testing that don't necessarily relate to maths, that improves the child's mind with chess.
Okay, you mean, for example, assess the children on, I don't know, IQ or spatial abilities or...
Yes, spatial studies, being able to think laterally rather than mathematically, which is by its very nature tempered to specifics. It's almost the antithesis of maths in some respects, because my understanding of this is that you're widening the mind of the child to understand a much broader panoramic view of problems.
Okay, we can say these studies started thanks to a pedagogist, which is who is Professor Trinchero. So our main interest was to analyze and assess how chess can be a benefit in real context, such as school, in real domains, such as mathematics. But obviously, we can assess also cognitive abilities. Absolutely, it has been already done by other researchers.